disturbing story which is coming in from Kerala, where there is a case of molestation due to frisking which has now been reported. A Kollam girl was asked to remove her innerwear by the authorities who were there simply for the sake of security checks. Now, why would a student be asked to remove her innerwear for security check? Is that something which is allowed? Where does it happen? In which other exam does it take place where you're supposed to ask students to remove this? Is it not something a violation of someone's right? Is this intentional? Is it just lackadaisical, casual kind of an approach towards any issue? Kasturi Shankar ji is joining us live right now. Thanks for joining us, Kasturi ji. This is such a funny case. Unfortunately, now the student's father has also now filed a police complaint. I understand women's panel have registered suo motu case. That's a legality. But what could explain a security personnel deciding to empower himself or herself to the degree where a young student is being asked to move her innerwear for security check?
Yeah, NEET, in the first year of NEET, we heard such horror stories where people were asked to remove their Mangal Sutra or anything metallic in order to, make sure that the security investigations can go on smoothly and stuff. And there was a huge furor then. But ever since then, people have been coached. The security personnel have also been trained to examine the children in a more humane manner. This is shocking and most condemnable that in Kerala, which calls itself a progressive state, some security personnel, this has been an isolated incident this time, but it's still, even one is too many. Even one is too many, where absolute ignorance and insensitivity to children, if they're going to do that, anything that's not in the books, anything that is not written in the books, first cannot be enforced.
Kasturi, is this NEET story? This is this NEET exam, and you're rightly pointing out, Kasturi ji, that that the similar cases have been reported earlier as well. Is this just a NEET specific phenomenon? Do you think something has gone horribly wrong with the entire approach towards organization of NEET? So one after the other, we're only seeing controversies around NEET.
I think anybody who is in charge of any security, especially NEET, where there are lakhs and lakhs of students all over the country, the people administrating the security, even if they're contractors, they have to have a coaching, they have to have proper training, they have to be qualified, and they have to have some kind of a mock-up before the actual exam. All this has to be done in the future, because this is ridiculous. This is making NEET a draconian and a nightmare to go to. Imagine the child's mental state when she goes in to write an exam that's going to determine her future.
All right.
All modified and into the place.
Okay. All right, Kasturi, thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing all those details. It's a very, very disturbing story, and I'd urge all of you, if you're watching this broadcast or if you're following this on any of the social media platforms, please log into indianews.com. You can join us and you can tell us exactly what do you think needs to be done to stop these kind of harassment-oriented stories, because this is not something which augurs well for our democracy. If these cases are being reported in a state which has very high literacy levels like Kerala, what disturbs me the most is that what would be happening in states where you have poor awareness of law and order, where a police constable or a simple police officer, a simple policeman, may just think in terms of being the ultimate Badshah, the Lord and mighty God. Imagine if those stories are being reported from those poorer parts of the country, then what would be the impact on students? Something for all of you to take strong note of.